Life doesn't always go the way we want it to. We pray, we hope, and we wait. Yet nothing seems to change. In those moments, it's easy to feel abandoned and discouraged. But what if the struggles we face are actually part of a greater plan? What if what seems like a disaster is actually leading us to something better? There was once a man who found himself in a dire situation. A massive ship was caught in a violent storm and sank into the depths of the ocean. Everyone on board perished except for one man. By the will of the Almighty, he miraculously survived and was washed ashore on a deserted island. When he regained consciousness, he realized he was completely alone, with nothing but the vast sea stretching endlessly before him. Feeling hopeless, he lifted his eyes to the sky and pleaded for help. Hours turned into days, but no rescue came. As time passed, his hope began to fade, and eventually he stopped praying, convinced that no one was listening. With no other choice, he fought to survive. He gathered branches, built a small shelter, and lived off coconuts and fish. Days turned into weeks, and he accepted that he might never be rescued. After nearly 20 days of struggle, he managed to construct a small hut, a place he could finally call home. One day, while out gathering food, he returned to find his hut engulfed in flames, reduced to ashes. Overcome with despair, he looked up and cried out, questioning why God had allowed this to happen. His only shelter, the one thing he had worked so hard for, was gone. The weight of his misfortune felt unbearable, and he spent the night lost in sorrow and frustration. As the sun rose the next morning, a loud sound startled him awake. To his astonishment, a large ship was docked near the island. Overjoyed, he wasted no time in rushing toward it. Once aboard, he asked the captain how they had known he was there. The captain smiled and replied that they had seen a signal fire rising from the island and knew someone needed help. In that moment, everything became clear. The very fire that destroyed his shelter had been the reason for his rescue. What he had seen as a disaster was actually the turning point in his journey. He now understood that the Almighty had never abandoned him. Everything had been unfolding according to a plan far greater than his own. With a heart full of gratitude, he sought forgiveness for his doubts. In life, when we face hardships, our faith often wavers. We become restless, questioning why things aren't going our way. But what we fail to see is the wisdom behind it all. The Almighty provides for all, and He knows exactly what to give and when to give it. So whenever things seem to fall apart, trust that something better is on the way. Before one door closes, another is already opening. Never lose hope.